Hello, everybody. Happy Thriving Thursday. You guys, the sun is out. I'm super excited because yesterday it was raining here in California, and I don't do well with the rain, so I need sunshine and some heat. So, anyway, I'm super excited to be here today with you guys. Today is going to be a little bit different. We have been covering a lot of um, products and supplementation and basically that next level of your health journey and how to get there and how to sustain all of that weight loss and all the great things that you guys have accomplished. So, but today I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit of our background and where we started and why I'm such a health nut right now, why I'm advocating it so passionately, and what got me there, what started that, and also just talking about a little bit of the freedoms that come with being in the place that I'm in, which is honestly, it's network marketing. And a lot of people have bad things to say about network marketing, but I love it. You guys, I started that in 2002, didn't know what I was doing, did a lot of different things, learned all the lessons, and now I'm loving it. And so I want to share that story with you guys. I'm going to bring on Tanisha Duncan from Holy Humans. And we're going to get started on a conversation. But if you guys are on here, coming on here, please let me know where you're coming from, and say hi so that we can say hi back. And here we go. Let's add Tanisha. Hello.
Hello. Hey, hey, hey. Happy Thriving Thursday. Excited to be here.
Yes.
Right
Yes.
on.
Yes.
So go for it.
Yeah, so we were going to talk about, something a little bit different, just basically get to know each other and people a little bit better. And so with that, let me ask you, because most of the people watching this probably know me a little bit better. But let me start by asking you a little bit, like maybe about your childhood and why you are where you are right now. Like what happened in your childhood?
Sure.
And stuff like
Absolutely. I love this. I was just in a clubhouse yesterday and today, pretty much like every other day, talking about, how our childhood really shapes our future. And for me in my childhood, I massively struggled in my health. I didn't know it at the time, obviously, until I got older. And when I got older, I was really able to look back in photos and actually see, as a child, I was extremely unhappy, not because of my family life or my surrounding. That had nothing to do with that aspect, but more so feeling trapped in my body. As a child, I always was just heavier. I always carried more weight. My face was always filled with fluid. And when you are able to pick up on the signs and signals of a body that's struggling, those are typically some really key indicators. And when somebody's health is struggling in that department and it physically manifests, well, we know that there's a lot going on the inside. So that health journey for me in being a child and struggling in my health actually had zero to do with what I went to school for originally. I went to school with the intent to pursue marine biology. That changed within my first week of school because I was horrified about how much science there was going to be. And little did I know that, yeah.
Hello.
Crazy. I know. And I literally, I shotgun picked another major. Like I had no idea what kinesiology was or what biochemistry was. I had no idea what any of that literally was. So I picked it as a shotgun because I had to choose something. I had to have a path for my degree. And little did I know that I would fall in love with nutrition in this way and the sciences and just how it all works together and set the pace for my career of being able to harness in and hone in on that pain as a child, of overcoming menstrual challenges as a young adult and implementing that into what I do now, the people that I get to serve on a daily basis, leading me into the clinic life and finding, in that experience of the clinic life, like, wow, I really love the experience of the clinic. I love helping people. I love being able to execute protocols with people, but I hate the clinic life in the sense of I have to show up and be there 9 to 5. Today, we do things differently now. We have the online space and there are so many clinicians who are in the online space, who advocate like I do. March 11th will be my 4-year anniversary of running my business entirely online. And
awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's so exciting. And I just really love what this space offers. The wellness space, the clinician space, and the online space for me are a perfect merge with what we are talking about here today. It's like you can do anything with this, and you can apply it, you can create it for however which way you want to. And that for me is like the greatest sense of freedom, because who wants to feel trapped in what they do for work and their income? I definitely don't, and I know that I can't. I've done it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you and I have had, similar stories as children anyway, with the weight problems or issues and stuff like that. I was always the chunky kid. And, I remember even being in private school and just how I felt in that uniform. I was like, ugh, it's like all the way up here and it's just uncomfortable. And I was always really good at hiding what I look like, especially into my later teens. And I think there was some times where I was okay. I look back now and I'm like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even fit into that dress if I tried.
Yeah.
Things like that. But once you have that like thought in your head that, you're the chunky kid, or, even your family telling you, you're a little chunk right now. You need to fix that. Or, it just kind of stays with you. And so as far as that, I think we're really similar with that. And, gosh, I've been in the gym since I was 16 years old. I remember going with my mom at 16 and trying to handle it. Right. She was more into the, what can we take, and the flaxseed and all the things. I mean,
oh my gosh, I did that too. I grew up on needing flaxseed because I could not, TMI, it's not TMI for me, could not go to the restroom, charcoal, drinking charcoal all the time in order to just maintain a feeling of being okay.
Yeah, I talk about poop on my page all the time because people are used to it.
Poop, you guys.
It's so important. The color of your pee, the size and shape and buoyancy of your bowel movements. I mean, it's very, very important, and it sounds gross at first, but it's life. It's what we need to know about. But so my whole life struggled with that. Did everything I shouldn't have done. Popping pills left and right. Hydroxycut was one of my favorites, which is
wow.
Yeah, and those things are damaging, right? I mean, those things are going to throw your body into I don't even know what. So all sorts of pills, all sorts of things that we could do. My mom, like I was saying, I kind of wish she was here right now. She passed away about 8 years ago, but man, she would love this space because she was a seller. She was someone who shared everything all the time. I remember 8 years old walking in with a bloody cheek because I got bit by a dog. And she was having a party with friends doing, I don't know, I think it was like Shockley or
really?
or something. Yeah. So she was always pimping stuff. And so, I mean, it must be in the blood, right?
That's so great.
So I learned at an early age from her, she only had, that I could remember, a few real 9-to-5 jobs. And one of the last ones she had was with my brother, and they worked together. And that's the last one I remember. She always pimped everything out until the end. And so she showed me what that freedom looked like, because to me, I always felt like she was at home. I never felt like we were without her, and that was huge for me, especially going through those mental things about my weight and insecurities and lack of confidence and those kind of things. I definitely wasn't the person that I am today back then. And people are like, I don't believe it, but it's like, no, I changed, and I think motherhood changed me as well. But just knowing the freedoms from the get-go of what she was doing. And my dad tells me all the time too, honey, keep going, because your mom and I had made it to this. And,
Wow.
it's super exciting to know that, it kind of runs in the
Yeah.
family, and that it's real, that
Yeah.
it's not something new age. This has been going on for years and years and years. I mean,
Yeah.
some of
It has.
those front leader companies, right, that have been
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about it is like when you look at it, regardless of whatever industry it is, there's always going to be like a very small handful of companies that are really setting the pace for each industry. And at the end of the day, for somebody who is looking to, let's just say, for example, from our demographic of wellness and people who are guiding people on their paths of health, there's a very small handful of companies that actually provide legitimate nutrition, legitimate products that are able to make like that massive impact for people. And when you find something that at the end of the day is better for the people, not just for yourself, but better for the people, you really partner with that emotionally, and you're able to continue moving on a daily basis, knowing that you are operating out of the best space, out of the best intent for the people that you're serving. And at that point, regardless of whatever the distribution method is, if it's wholesale, if it's an affiliate link, or if it's, oh my gosh, dun, 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 network marketing,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter as long as it's good for the people. And I will lead into saying that most medical professionals that I have the opportunity to speak with, because I have taken my experience from the clinical space, the pains that I've experienced in the clinical space, financial pains is what I mean by that. And I've been able to take that and apply it to the clinicians that I do work with, and helping them establish more financial freedom for themselves, helping them establish more time freedom for themselves. For coaches and clinicians who operate on an older method, they don't get the time freedom that they absolutely need to be able to recharge themselves. I know that because I've been there. It was an absolutely horrible, horrible self-care routine, because there was no self-care, because there was no time for that. So being able to dial in and be like, okay, I know that this is their pain point, and I want to be able to help them achieve that and get that time. I also want to be able to help them to get their financial freedom into where they believe they want it. So many people that are in the coaching space, the clinician space, even the medical professional space, a lot of them are really struggling financially. And you have to look at that. Are they struggling financially because they're so exhausted that they have no choice but to input so much time into their business to where they're so out of balance that, because everything is natural law of attraction, right? We are energy, that if there's one block here, there's another block there. Eventually it catches up. So being able to put everything together and be like, here, this is what works. This is what's helping. And guess what? It's nutrition that works. It's nutrition that is actually supported by science, and it's going to help you get your clients and your patients better results, which makes you look better as a professional. There's nothing to lose there. And there's so much freedom and joy that I feel every single day in being able to do this, because I have stepped into my purpose, just like you have stepped into your purpose, Yvette, in reframing how you're showing up as a coach for your people, and not remaining within a boundary.
Right. And I think that's so important, especially in this day and age, like literally today. Like we are being suppressed, And so that's the last thing I want to do, is I want to be able to speak out. I want to be able to help people. And what you had said, going back to one of the things that you had said about, finances, and even with the doctors that, could be struggling right now, because, people, especially last year, this time, people were afraid to go to the doctor. They didn't want to go to the hospital. So those people with those private practices are hurting. So being able to help somebody even at that stature, but for me and a lot of the people that I talk to in my demographic, I hear that a lot. It's always about, health is the last thing that they want to invest in, which is really scary. But that's okay. They haven't gotten there yet. And so that is where I want to put myself is like, here, let me give you what I know. Let me partner with Tanisha, partner with other people that could give us some really good information so that, we educate ourselves because that investment in your health right now, you're either going to do it right now or you're going to do it on the back end.
Yeah,
You're going to be paying for medications. You're going to be paying for
exactly.
surgeries. You're going to be paying for, God forbid, funerals.
Yeah,
Okay. Like it's that serious, which is why I won't shut up
yeah,
because I just need people to know it's at that severity. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And
I
so,
totally know what you mean.
yeah. So I love the fact that, we can come in, with a nutrition program and help people get where they need to be with a supplemental program that they can start using and start bettering and improving the way that they feel, which in turn is going to give them that extra motivation they need to go to the gym or to
Yeah,
eat right or to do all of the things that we advocate and want them, want
yeah,
for them. And sometimes we want it more than they want it, which is really hard. But
yeah.
it's been something that I've had to learn to like kind of get by.
Yeah, that actually used to be really difficult for me in the very beginning of just being in the health and wellness space. I think in the beginning, obviously, well, just like anybody in any industry, you walk in with like so much like soul filled purpose and excitement. Like you are just so willing and able to move mountains for somebody, not with somebody. And eventually, what happens is becoming more experienced in whatever industry it is, but specifically with this one, you end up reaching a point where it's like, you're not ready for this, and that's okay. I'm going to protect my energy and redirect it to somebody who's actually willing and able to show up, not for me, but for themselves. And that is really what I love about this industry, the health and wellness industry, and at the same time, this industry of business and being able to actually be selective in who we choose to work with, because at the end of the day, our energy is important. And if we don't have our energy and we don't have our cup filled, then we can't, first of all, pour into ourselves. We can't pour it into other people. And then if we're operating like that, we're kind of just showing up as a false identity. And that's not fun because that's not real, that's not authentic, and that serves nobody.
Right.
So,
Right. And I think that
there's
that's
go ahead.
sorry, that's
No, go
something
ahead.
that in the beginning, I've been doing this for 3 years now. That's something in the beginning that I felt because I wasn't doing it for the right reasons, or I
Mhm.
didn't know why I was doing it or why I was so passionate about it until I started hearing the stories, until I started hearing like your story, or we know some other people like Emma's story, and
Mhm.
Brianna's on here. Thank you, Brianna, for tuning in. But she did a great story on her page yesterday, and I was just blown away.
Mhm.
It's like there are so many people out there that need these things, that need to know how important it is for health. And CJ, I love it. She's like, your health is number one. All the money in this world will not buy you long and a healthy life.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
totally true. It's totally true. I mean, you know, it, it's really interesting. Like being in this space, you encounter a lot of personalities and a lot of people, and where they direct their investments. And it's so funny to hear people that are in my age demographic, for example, who are in their early 30s, are now for the first time beginning to experience horrible health slapped in their face. And, it's one of those things where it's like, I tried to help you. I'm still willing to help you, but are you willing to change your habits? Are you willing to change your lifestyle? Okay, so if you are, let's go ahead and tally up financially. How much are you investing on a monthly basis that is actually degrading your health? And if you're really ready to claim your health, let's just say we have, on average, most people in my age demographic spend anywhere from $200 to $400 in activities or foods or drinks that aren't so great for your health. So what we can do is we can very gently shift that budget over and say, okay, if you're really ready to invest in your health, we're going to ex-nay, eliminate all of the things that you've been investing in that have been destroying your health on a monthly basis. And we're just going to recompartmentalize and move it over here. And now you have a whole health budget. Are you ready for it? And if they're not ready for it, at this point, I'm that person, on to the next. Because
Right.
I want to work with somebody who actually wants to make a change in their life all around.
Yeah.
So,
And I love that because there are so many people that have been watching and listening, the last 3 years, and they're starting to calm. They're starting to be like, okay, I'm ready. Let's do this, and
yeah.
it's so exciting. It
Because they see
literally,
you.
like,
They see you. Look at how much your health has transformed. Like, I've seen photos of
yeah.
you, Yvette. Like, you had more weight on your shoulders, literally, mentally, emotionally, physically. And now you have a bombshell bod. Like, people
Aw.
see that. People see
Listen,
that in that
I
transformation.
feel good about it. Yeah, I feel good
Yeah.
about it because for the first time in my life at almost 51, like in 2 weeks, oh my God, um, I feel like, okay, this is what it's supposed to feel like. This
Yeah.
is what, and not just physically,
Yeah.
but mentally, emotionally, um, even in our finances, like starting to see that growth, starting to see that blessing that's
Mm-hmm.
really coming in and making a difference in our
Yeah.
lives. And that's why I think I share everything as much as I do, because it's like I want people to see it really is that easy. And just like you said, especially because finance is such a big thing for people.
Yeah. Totally.
They don't know how to compartmentalize and shift that over. Same thing, I tell my people all the time, if you want to get healthy, this is what we need to do because we want you to have healthy finances as well.
Yeah.
Because it's all emotional. I can't remember the name of this girl that I started watching on YouTube, and she says it all the time. We are not getting healthy or losing weight or doing the things because we are so stressed out about the word diet.
Yeah.
We're so stressed out about eliminating certain things from our lives. And that could be friendships, that could be food,
Yeah.
whatever it is. It's like, you guys, just even if you do it for a month or 2 months, eliminate that one thing, switch that over to where you're investing in your health,
Yeah.
and see what happens. Because I'm going to tell you, I mean, right here, 100%. I told my girlfriend no for a year. Watched her, watched her, watched her. And then I was like, okay, I can't handle it anymore. She's looking fantastic. And I need
Yeah.
to know what is happening.
Yeah.
And it worked just like she told me it would. It worked, and now
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I want to keep pushing. And especially because at this point now, the freedom part comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, we've gotten the health part down, we've gotten the finances down, we've gotten those things working on our behalf, like working for us, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like freedom time. And
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm so jealous because if you all can't see the glow that's going on that side of the screen, that side of the screen, like this woman lives on the beach, spends every morning out there
I
doing
do.
what you do on the beach, and I love it because that's the dream. You know what I
It
mean?
is. Yeah.
That's the dream.
It's been gosh, now 9 years. 9 years of literally integrating my lifestyle into who I am as a person. Cutting all the ties of the way that I was quote unquote brought up to be and creating my own. And I think that's the beauty of entrepreneurship, is you're really able to identify who you are as a person, how you operate, what is actually going to sustain your quality of life and living. And when you do choose to run a business, I think it's so important to really identify your business is who you are. They're not separate. Your business reflects what your daily life is like. They're not separate. Somebody asks me how I am, what's going on in my life. The way that I take that is, how's my business doing? Because we're all one and the same. I don't look at them as separate. So when it comes to the beach glow, all that stuff, I make my business work in my lifestyle. I cannot work indoors all day. I just can't. It's not in my DNA. I get anxiety if I do it. I mean, granted, there are times where I have to, sure. But would I prefer to work outside if I can? Absolutely. 10 minutes before this live, you guys, I was outside bathing in the sun, working with my computer, on Clubhouse, on calls, emails, making my lifestyle of health and wellness advocation, still working with medical professionals, still working with health coaches, still working with my clients outside. And this is the beauty and freedom of what today's age really offers people if they choose to claim it, not even just in our industry, but every other industry as well. If you want it bad enough, you can make it happen and fit into your life. Even if it's an hour a day, doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah, I'm still floored at, there are times where I'm so busy, and for me, that still sometimes is less than 10 hours a week.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, it started with just a little bit. I was working 70 hours a week. I never saw my husband unless he came and volunteered where I was working. Thank God my son was grown and gone, but I was working 70 hours a week and I fit it in. Why? Because I knew that it worked. I knew that it was going to make people feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm at right now. It's like, I'm going to be talking about it all the time. I tell people all the time, hey, if you get sick of me, there's a button on there. But I'm trying to get the word out because I know what it's done for me and my family. I love the people that I've connected with right now. And just like you said, moving out of those relationships and things, you got to do what you got to do. Because we would do the same thing if we're a restaurant owner, right? If we were a restaurant owner, we'd be pimping that stuff all over Facebook with ads and everything else.
Totally.
Clippings and the coupon books and all the things. So we all do it. We all share things regardless of what it is.
I mean, we wear clothing that has a brand on it that has nothing to do.
Glasses.
Exactly. And that have nothing to do with us. So why should we inflict shame on somebody who is going to promote what they really believe in just because it's their business and there's income attached to it? I'm so over that, so over that. I see it happening everywhere where people are subconsciously shaming other people for being an advocate of running their business online, being vocal about their business online, who are not afraid to talk about their business online, but other people are inflicting shame on that. It's like, first of all, get over it. Get over it, because this is something that somebody's passionate about, and they're so passionate about that they keep speaking about it every single day. And if that offends you, like you said, Yvette, unfollow. It's that easy, because we believe in what we do and because we know it works. And when you can bring your passion forward into what you do, like, for example, when I was in the clinic, I could not be expressive like this. In the clinic, this is too much energy. In the clinic, you're supposed to be neutral, calm, and collected and be speaking to people like this. And eventually you end up feeling very trapped in who you are because you can't express yourself. For me, that was so not a fit. I am loud. I am boisterous. I love to laugh. And this is that space where you can create whatever you want for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love it. So I'm just excited that we are able to share a little bit of that, just because, I know people want to hear those things. They want to hear stories. And I hope to bring on other people as well that have, great stories to share about their health and their wellness and where they're at now and how they're taking advantage of these opportunities that are everywhere.
Yes.
Like literally everywhere. So anyway, thank you so much. I'm not going to keep you inside any longer. I'm about to go outside now. Now you got me pumped up. I'm going to go have lunch outside.
Oh, right on. Do it. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good for you.
Right. Anyway, all right, you guys, if you guys have any questions about anything, just, reach out to me. We are here every Thursday. And like I said, hopefully to bring you guys some more content and some more education. That's what we're all about. So we will see you guys later.
Bye.